Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad that we finally took this time to have a quick interview because I wanted to make sure
Okay.
that whoever's viewing and
hmm
watching and who is taking recognition of your website, that they actually got to know a little bit about you. So, Mr. Charles McCune, I know I said
Yep.
your name, but I just wanted to ask you a few questions that would help out our viewing audience and hopefully give them a personal feel for who you are.
All
So,
right, let's go.
first question I have to ask you is very straightforward. Based on all of the emails, the calls, we want to know, who are you, sir?
Oh, I'm Charlie from 29, Fifth of Lennox. I'm the artist. Come on now. That's right. I'm a family man. Yeah, Mr. Entrepreneur over here. Everywhere I go, know what I mean?
Okay.
Start a business, get a grant. Huh?
Okay, so we got a artist, we got an entrepreneur, and a family man.
Yeah.
All right, so how many companies do you currently own?
Oh, right. So right now I have Chucker Portraits. That's my pride and joy. That's my baby. But we have about like five more companies on the way. I'm talking from nonprofits, all different type of things, but we'll get to that.
Okay, great.
Hmm?
Why do you have such a passion for art? Because with a name like Chucker Portraits LLC,
Hmm.
I know people call you Chuck. You're the Chuck. So Chucker
Oh,
Portraits. Why
yeah.
is it that we have this art passion thing going on? What happened? What turned you into the beast?
Oh well, like so. Growing up, I was just always hyperactive, couldn't sit down. You know how that go. So with that being said, I wound up having to go to like a lot of classes. I went to like art therapy, learning how to play with Legos, clay, all different type of pencils and things like that. That was my way of like calming down. But it just so happens it grew. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, you know how people would like just count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I drew a portrait, or I just play with my pencils. So if I'm having a good day, there we go with the pencils. I'm having a bad day, there we go with the pencils. Everything was just revolved around colors and things like that, and it worked for me.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So it was like a method of therapy for you. And
Mhm.
it's very interesting that you say that because a lot of people who take therapy and they are put in certain programs, as soon as they get out of those programs, they want nothing more to do with them. But it's very
Uh,
interesting to see that you end up in a program or programs like that, and it actually grows on you and transforms you into something greater, where now you have this wonderful skill. Another
mhm.
question that I tend to get from different people who I see that are interested in the business is, what type of portraits do you draw?
Oh well, a lot of times I draw uh, mediums that deal with pencils, and or even I use watercolor pencils. So I've never really drawn a portrait on a big scale. I'm talking about like on the side of a building. I never drew a mural or nothing. But what I have done is I drew portraits in pen, color pencils, watercolors. I even drew pencils with you name it. I did it. I even one time, watch this. I used to take and I used to dip my hand in water, and on a hot sun, I would draw. I would hurry up and quickly draw like the female figure, and people would look at me and be like, "What are you drawing? What are you drawing?" So as the sun is hitting the concrete, you got to catch what I'm drawing before it goes away. And then I would do it, and people would just record, and then they'll just start laughing as they fast forward and then see what it really was. It was the dopest. But yeah, that was really my thing right there. Just drawing in mediums, anything that I can touch. You understand what I'm saying? If I can touch it, it it feels right to me. You understand what I'm saying? Or acrylics, it don't matter.
Okay, so I've seen a lot of different types of art that you've done for people, different portraits on your website, and I have to say they were pretty great. And
Mm-hmm.
what kind of occasions do you do these portraits for? Because I've noticed that different people have called with different types of requests. And
Right.
what type of requests do you normally get?
So far, I done drew portraits for yeah, just out of privacy purposes. I drew portraits for people, funerals, babies being born, people that had kids. A couple of individuals that child passed away, and I've done everything from I drew a graduation portrait. Um, what else? Oh yeah, I even did one where I drew in the privacy and a nude. You understand what I'm saying? For people, for like they wanted to have a gift, for she wanted to have a gift for her husband, which was, I felt like that was just the dopest thing. I wish I could have showed everybody that, but out of respect, I can't. I did basically anything. I drew a couple together in lingerie, and I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm proud of that. Though I'm more proud of those type of things. Just to watch the community come together just through my work is, yeah, I love the community for that.
That's pretty good. So we're talking birthday parties, funerals, baby showers, christenings, funerals, and any occasion, weddings. Okay, well, have you ever done any portraits for any well-known celebrities or big community figures?
Oh yeah, I'm not really sure if it's okay to mention them. Like recently, as far as a community figure, I just drew a portrait for somebody named Smart. He's dope. That was dope. A couple of battle rappers. I just did Swave. That was another one. I not only drew him, also drew his daughter another time. I drew portraits for. I can name drop, but I'll be here for a long time. When it comes to Harlem, my community supports me. Like so, and it's dope. And when they hit me, a lot of times they hit me in the weirdest ways. They'll be like, "Where's my picture?" I'm like, "Huh? I got you." Where you at? Where you right now? And it'd be the funniest thing. They'll sit there and laugh with me, and then be like, "Yo, you better draw my picture." Or people will come up to me that we never had the conversation about drawing a portrait, and they'll be like, "Where's my portrait at? Don't make me beat you up." I'm like, "All right, I don't want to get beat up." It'd be the funny. I just my community. I get the most support from them.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So I've noticed that you definitely have the art part covered. And when I went across your website, I found out that you're promoting credit repair, small
Oh
business,
yeah,
and even
yeah.
small business funding.
Say it again. Say
What's
it
the
again.
connection behind that? Because I looked at it and I inferred my own reasoning behind why you did it. But what's the
Mhm.
connection between you art and now entrepreneurialism?
Big connection. Number one is okay. Before I even say that, I gotta put this out there. I was raised by my aunts, grandmothers, stuff like that. A lot of women. So we were never. I don't want to say financially poor. We wasn't rich, but we were well off. We didn't have a point where it wasn't a time where I didn't have a pair of sneakers or this, that, and the third. But the difference is I wasn't supporting myself. Time to support myself, what I realized was that life wasn't as easy. You know what I mean? Even when I had a job, there was still certain things that I couldn't get because I didn't have nobody to get those things for me. So the reason why I had to say that first is because I didn't I didn't know what credit was. So by me meeting my mentor and by me meeting like you and other and different things of that nature, I wound up learning from like Dr. Mike and things like that. I wound up was about like credit repair. I wound up learning why my credit score is important, how to get loans from the banks, how to invest, and not only how to get loans, how do you put that money in back? How do you invest in complexes and things like that? So I can honestly say I could do this with a minimum wage job. You can too. It's mad, y'all. Believe it or not, it's, the reason why I promote it is this. Even you, right now, you could take. Let's just say you could take you wage. You could see for like pennies on the dollar, like $100, even 200 at most. You can set up your own LC. Um, you could turn around, get yourself, start building credit, get business funding, or you can build up your personal and get personal funding. And you can do that with a minimum wage job, yo. Anybody could do it. I didn't know that at first. See, I know it now. Not only do I know how to get the money, we also know how to put the money back. So, with that being said, and it being so easy, I was just like, how can I not say thank you? The way you say thank you is you put it out there. You let people know I was once you. Just because I'm fine now, I wasn't always that way. You got to let people know. You don't hide it. You don't keep it a secret. We don't gatekeep, y'all.
Okay, that's amazing. That's great. And I
Yeah,
just want
man.
to add to that. There,
Uh-huh.
when you go out to the average person in the community and you check on
Mm-hmm.
credits, especially in the poorer community, you'll find out most people aren't educated to, the power of credit. They're not educated to
Mm-hmm.
LLCs and starting businesses because most of them work 9 to 5s. They're not
Mm-hmm.
educated towards how they can literally go into a bank and with no documents actually get anywhere between 50,000
Mm-hmm.
to $500,000. So when I saw these things in your website, I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was awesome because what you're doing is you're offering the community an opportunity to one, get their credit fixed, two, start a small business,
Mm-hmm.
and then three, get funded. And,
Mm-hmm.
and every one of those cases, from what I understand, a person could get funded $50,000 in 3 days if they have everything
Yeah. You.
set up correctly. And by you having a team of
Mm-hmm.
people behind your business that actually maintains your credit, maintains your
Mm-hmm.
LLC being in the correct status and set up properly, and then constantly getting funding for you, I thought that was a genius level setup for you to have and then to offer to other people. So I have to actually commend you on that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Another question that I noticed that kept coming into the business and on some of these
Mm-hmm.
was, can becoming an entrepreneur and starting a business help a person to become
Wait, say
financially?
that last part, please. Say the last part again. Say the last part again.
Okay, so most people that call in are not entrepreneurs. A lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
have 9 to 5 jobs. And
Mm-hmm.
when they speak and they ask these questions on the line, a lot of them start speaking and they ask the question, can becoming an entrepreneur and starting a business help them to become financially free and quit their jobs?
Mm-hmm. And watch this. Now, this is when I disagree because I believe that most people are entrepreneurs, but they don't realize they're entrepreneurs. For instance, if you have a person working in retail, you understand what I'm saying? They're selling. They're selling clothes. They're selling sneakers. They're selling whatever it is. They're selling electronics. I don't care what you're selling. You're selling it. Now, getting employee of the month or you ain't getting employee of the month. If you worked at a job longer than 3 months and you know your job, 2, 3 months, I don't care if it's 3 weeks. If you know your job, that you're a professional at that job. That means you are an entrepreneur. You're just an entrepreneur for somebody else. You're just a worker. You're not a boss. You understand what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, most of the people that I meet, they have ideas. They're like, oh, I could start a business doing this. I could start a business doing that. And it's true, they can. But it's just like you said, they just don't know how. They don't know how to get funded to start that company. They don't know how to get funded to start that business. You understand what I'm saying? So, what I promote basically is I'll show you how to get the funding. I'll show you how to be the best you that you can be. Not the best me, but the best you. And when you find out that people are the best them, you start meeting the greatest people you've ever met. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're showing you that they really are professionals at their craft, but they just unaware that they are. That's all.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting too. And one of the most
Mm-hmm.
interesting parts about your business is, though, yes, you do show people how to do art and portraits, and I see you do a lot of demonstrations and you
Mm-hmm.
demonstrate drawing these things on your social media.
Mm-hmm.
I also see that you don't promote for everyone to become an artist, because I've heard you have conversations with individuals before and you talk to them and you stated to them that even if they're not people who are artists, they might be into music, they might be into restaurants,
Yeah.
they may be
Yeah.
into modeling, they may be into real estate, they may be into cars, whatever it is that they're into. you have a unique setup behind you where you have a group of people who will help them get their credit together, start their small business,
Hmm.
offer them some coaching, and get
Hmm.
funded and actually heading in the direction, and even work with them to hire other coaches that will help them polish their craft and become
That's right.
super professional at it. So, I think this is one of the best business models I've ever seen. And I have to
Hmm.
actually put that in there as well. Um,
That's right.
so that I don't take up too much of your time because I know you're super rich and you constantly getting it. I have one
No.
more question for you. Um, you mentioned before that you have Chucker Portraits, and you mentioned you had some other businesses that were coming down the line.
Yeah,
And I've also noticed your naming scheme. You have Chucker Portraits. I heard you talk about Chucker businesses.
that's
Uh,
right.
what are
A
some
heart,
other
like a love.
businesses? What are some other businesses that you intend on actually bringing to the community pretty soon, and why?
So Chuck a bit. So one, I want to start with a couple of nonprofits because there are a lot of people out here that need help and they really don't know. So one of the things that I want to do, one of my nonprofits I want that to be is called Chuck a Love. Now, what Chuck a Love does is we get people to go out to the community, and what we want to show shelters, homeless, domestic violence. We want to partner up with shelters to show people that there are people out here who wants to help. And if they're willing to take that chance, we can help them. For instance, there are a lot of people that's coming home from jail and things like that. They don't know that they can get funded as far as to help getting finding a place to live, how to find a job. There are a lot of places out there that do help people, but we just want to be one of the ones that help them also. Then we want something like Chuck of Love. Now, what Chuck wait, that's Chuck of Love, but we want like Chuck of Hearts. Now, what Chuck of Hearts is just this is going out to all the women, and we want to help them get grants, loans, and things like that. We just trying to let them know that they count and we care about them. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna have Chuck a Mans where we helping out just specifically just men and things of that nature, stuff like that. We're gonna have Chuck a Pets where we want to start a company where we help either sheltered animals or we help animals that need shelter, things like that, from petting and grooming to now, I mean, we might even have a doggy daycare. That's right. We might be dating at the doggy daycare. You want to go on a doggy date? You understand what I'm saying? But so these are the type of things that we're basically trying to get into. You know what I mean? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck chuck could chuck wood? Mad Chucky, mad Chuck.
Well, so I
Yeah.
certainly see the entrepreneurialism behind this. And, there's some people who are going and trying to open up diamond shops and
Huh?
jewelry places and luxury vehicles. You have
Yeah.
the most humble business ideas that definitely will be welcomed by the community because sure enough, we do have a lot of men that are, are incarcerated, and we want to give them other
Mm-hmm.
options for what they
Mm-hmm.
can do. And based on your infrastructure and what I see behind you, I think it's very impressive. You have something for women, you have something for men, you have something for even the pets,
Yeah.
which we know a lot of the community, they own pets as well.
It's right. Love your doggy.
I've heard about clothing lines from you, and
Yeah.
how you actually tie your art business in. I know you even have a team behind you that deal with
Mhm.
clothing. So
Yes.
this is all excellent, and I like the diversity that you have. You're not just into art. You're
Mm-mm.
you're into a little bit of education. You're a little bit into mentorship, coaching. You're into the credit repair. You're into the small business startup. You're into the funding. You're into humanitarianism and
Mhm.
philanthropy. I think all of these are very excellent qualities, and I think you're a very, very powerful person in the community because a lot of people are not taking the time to offer these things. So
Yes.
I want to give you your flowers right now, Mr. Chucker Portraits.
For
Thank
me?
you so
For
much
me?
for starting such an awesome business model in this community. And I am
Mhm.
definitely going to support you in every way I can. And I hope that the community actually recognizes your greatness and they take the time out to make sure they reach out to you, contact you, get in business with you, and use your services. So, is there anything
Yes,
else
sir.
you would like to let the community know before I end the interview?
To be honest with you, like I said, health first. People think about your health, think about your family, think about things that other people don't think about to put yourself in a better situation. You understand what I'm saying? I can't get your life together, but you can. You understand what I'm saying? Come to me and we can work together on doing that.
Thank
Shaka
you.
love.
Thank you so much for your time, sir, and you have a wonderful day.